Maybe it's the psych meds. Just so you know, I've been putting on, if you watch the other videos where I'm all sad and depressed and, ready to kill myself and all that bullshit. I've been to the hospital and the psych ward and all that, and they gave me a bunch of feel good medicines or whatever to make you happy. Mine, I guess it is helping. I was really against, things, and that's why I'm telling all these jokes. I guess my humor's coming back a little bit. So here's another joke for you. The gorilla joke. It's a little bit of a long one, so you'll have to sit and watch till the end. So I don't know how many minutes it's going to take, but it'll take about 5, maybe 6 minutes for this joke. So this guy driving through the desert back in the day. This is before cell phones and all this. Is driving through the desert. Long windy road in the middle of the desert. So the guy drives for a long time, and then he realized he was about to be out of gas, and he's like, oh no, and he's trying to get to a gas station. But his bad luck, he runs out of gas. But his good luck, he looks way down the road, and about a mile down the road, he sees a gas station. So he's like, oh, okay. And he's ran out of gas, and so he gets out of his car and starts walking to the gas station. And it takes him a little bit to get to the gas station. He finally gets there, and the owner of the gas station is to sit in front of the gas station, right? And he's sitting there in front of the gas station, and he's like, oh, how you doing, sir? He goes, yeah, I need some gas. I ran out of gas about a mile back, and I need some gas. And the guy goes, well, I'm sorry to tell you this, sir, but we don't have any gas. We're out, because we're out in the middle of nowhere, and we don't, the gas truck actually comes tomorrow. So I'll have gas tomorrow. And the guy's like, oh, okay, oh man, I don't know what I'm going to do then. Any hotels around here? He's like, no, there ain't nothing for, like 50 miles either way. And he's like, oh man, I don't know. I guess I'll crash my car. And the guy looks over at him and goes, no, hey, I'll let you stay with me. I'll let you stay in the house with me. I'm here by myself most of the time. So it was good to have company. And it's like 5 o'clock. I'm about to close anyhow. So he locks up this gas station and goes around to the back of the building. There's a nice house up back there. And he walks into the house and with a guy behind him. And he's like, well, make yourself at home. And he goes, and they have dinner and they have good conversations and all that. And, his family ran this business for a long time. That's why he's out here in the middle of nowhere. Long time. He's like the 4th generation running this gas station, right? So he, takes him up to a room on the side of the building and a one room. It's a really small room. It has one bed and one closet door. And that's it. And he's like, okay. And he goes, you stay here. If you need anything, just come knock on my door and, I see what I can do. And he's like, no, I don't think I'll need anything. He goes, where's the bathroom? He tells it's down the hall. So he's in there. Takes a shower, gets ready for bed and lays down. And then here's this weird sound coming from the closet. Here's tapping sound, constant. At first, you think it's coming from the closet and the thing. So he goes over there and kind of wiggles on it and doesn't know it's locked, so he can't open it. And then he realizes it's coming from the vent by the door, like a vent on the ground, like air conditioning vent. It's like, that's weird. And he goes, and he goes, well, whatever. And he goes back to bed, or tries to at least. But the noise is so loud, it's like, here's his noise. And he's like, doesn't understand. So he finally gets up, kind of walks around the room, listens to it, and really can't sleep. And so he gets up and walks down the hall and knocks on the guy's door. And he's like, excuse me, hello. He's like, yeah, how can I help you? And he goes, there's this noise coming from my room, like a tapping sound, like something tapping its foot or something. And he's like, oh, don't worry about that. It's a constant noise. Just learn to ignore it. And he's like, okay, I'll try. And he goes, you got another room I can stay in? He goes, no, I only have these 2 rooms. I mean, my room and that room. And, I'm sorry. I mean, he goes, well, yeah, I understand. I mean, you are being nice and let me stay here and all that. So he tries to go back to sleep multiple times, and just can't. So he finally gets up and walks back to the guy's room and knocks on his door and is like, knocks on his door and is like, excuse me, sir. And he's like, yeah, what is it? He goes, I really can't sleep with that noise. What is that noise? He goes, Well, you don't really got to worry about it. It's nothing dangerous or anything like that. Don't worry about it. And he's like, well, I'm kind of concerned. He goes, well, fine, I'll show you. So he gets up, walks over to his, dresser, pulls out this big ring of keys, old, you ever seen the guys with a bunch of keys on the ring? A big ring, like 20 or 30 keys on this ring. So he goes to the guy's room, and the guy follows. He opens the closet door, right? Opens it up, and behind the closet door is the stairwell leading downward. So he follows the stairway down to the bottom of the stairs, and then walks, and at the bottom of the stairs is another door. He takes the key and opens the door, and then behind that there's another door. It's even heavier. It's like a steel door with steel reinforced door. And he's like, wow, that's weird. And he opens it, and then he gets to a wall, and the guy inserts the key in the wall, and the wall slides open, and in the middle of the room is a gorilla sitting in a chair, tapping its foot. And the guy's like, looks around and this is like, oh my God, this is weird as shit. Why do you have a gorilla way down here in the middle, you're way down in the basement somewhere locked up like this? And the gorilla's not chained to anything, just sitting in a chair, tapping his foot. And the guy's like, why do you have a gorilla in here? And the guy's like, well, it's always been here all my generations. Gorilla's been here. It's always been here. When we bought the house, the gorilla was here. He's like, really? And he's like, yeah, really. It's been here all this time. So there's a gorilla in the bottom of your basement tapping his foot for no damn reason, and you don't know why it's here. And he goes, well, it doesn't do anything but sit there and tap its foot. The only thing you got to know is you never reach up and touch it. Never touch the gorilla. Other than that, you can do anything to the gorilla. I mean, you can cuss it and yell at it and scream at it and call it names. It wouldn't do a thing. So the guy goes up there and starts calling it, you dirty gorilla and you damn dirty ape. You'll get the quote if you are older. If you're not older, you won't get the quote. But yeah, he was like, cussing the gorilla and everything. The gorilla wouldn't move. And he goes, yeah, he won't do anything. He reaches down, picks a brick off the floor and throws it, hits the gorilla square in the head. And the gorilla just sits there and taps the foot. He goes, watch this. And he throws a board and hits it. And it doesn't move. It just sits there and taps his foot. Just patiently tapping his foot. And he's like, that is weird. He goes, but you just never touch it. That's all I'm going to tell you. Just never touch it. And he's like, all right. And he goes, are you satisfied? And he's like, yeah. And so he slowly, goes back up and locking all the doors behind him and goes up the stairs and locks the closet door and all that. And the guy, you satisfied? And he's like, yeah, I'm satisfied. That's just weird. And he's like, yeah, I know. It's always been here. So the guy goes back to his room, and the other guy, tries to go to sleep again. And just thinking about it, he goes, why? Dude, the guy hit it in the, you think to himself, the guy hit the gorilla with a brick and a 2x4, and that gorilla didn't move, so why the hell would it bother if I touched it? That makes no damn sense to me, right? No logical sense. I mean, how the damn gorilla lived all this time with no food and nothing down there? He doesn't know. So he's kind of just curious, and so he's like, I wonder. So he gets up, he kind of goes to the guy's room, and he was going to knock, and then he decides not to knock. He opens the door, easy as can, opens it up, and slowly, doesn't creak or anything. He opens it and walks over to the dresser door, opens it up, and grabs the keys, slides the door, and closes the door. And then goes to his room and opens the closet door, and the door, bottom the stairs, open that door, and the next door, and the door behind that, the steel door, and then finally gets to where the wall, and you put the key in the wall, and the slides open. And he's like, just curious, and he walks around the room and looks at the entire room, and just really curious, and he's like, oh man, why would touching it matter? So he picks up a brick and literally throws it at the gorilla hard as he can, hits it beside the head, and the gorilla doesn't budge an inch and just sits there and taps his foot patiently with this tense look on his face. And the guy's like, wow, this is just weird. So he's like, maybe I just, maybe it won't do anything if I just, put one finger on it. Just touch it. One finger, just one little finger, just go, ooh, touch it, right? So he walks up there, takes his finger, reaches up, touches the gorilla. The gorilla goes ape shit. Goes crazy as can be. Picks up the chair, slams it, starts beating his chest, yelling, snarling and rah, and the guys go, oh shit. The guy's like, fuck, I'm a dead man. And so he starts running, and he first, immediately runs out of the room, and the gorilla starts to chase him, and he turns the key in the brick wall, and the brick wall slides closed, and he runs through that, and he closes the metal door. As he's closing the metal door, the gorilla busts through the brick wall. And he closes the steel door, and the gorilla's just starting banging on the steel door, and he starts running up the stairs, closing each door behind him, like, oh my God, I'm about to die. And so the gorilla just busts through the steel door, busts through the other door, and he's running up there, and he closes the closet door and starts running out, running from there, and he busts through the closet door, and he jumps on his bed and smashes it and throws it around the room, and he jumps out, gets out the door and starts running down the hallway, and the owner of the gas station is standing there. He goes, I told you not to touch it, as the guy runs by. And he's like, well, you did. And the guy thinks, well, you did. And he's running his ass off. He's out the house now, running past the gas station, running down the road. And he's running his ass off. And he looks back, and there's the gorilla, hot on his ass. He was like, holy shit, I'm a dead man. I'm a dead man. So he runs, and he finally gets, he runs a mile with the gorilla behind him, and he finally gets to his car, he jumps in his car and locks all the doors, and the gorilla, gets to the car, jumps up on the hood, jumps on the hood and bangs on the hood and beats his chest, reaches up and rips the roof off the car, and then he reaches in and goes, tag, you're it. The joke's funny because I just made you wait 12 minutes for the punchline, and that's the idea of the joke. You keep adding things to it until the end. So there you go. There's another bad joke for you.